feel like I haven't tanned in the longest time, and my summer tan is definitely fading away, and maybe I shouldn't have worn a cream colored shirt, but that's okay. Today I have for you my rolling Project 10 pan, my 10th update, and this will be, no, I'm gonna keep this one going through the end of the year. I was gonna say this will be my final update before the finale. It won't be. I am going to do my rolling Project 10 pan truly through to the end of the year, but I will say I don't have any rollouts this update, and I really am just kind of slow and steady wins the race. There's definitely some products that I'm not gonna be emptying out before the end of the year, and that's okay. I am not trying to be the most strict project panner in the world any longer, but I do have some products that I think will have some exciting progress on, and I'm very excited to share that with you. So if you're interested in my rolling Project 10 pan update for the month of November, recapping our progress from October, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project panning content, palette themed content, or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love for you to consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. We can start with my Rowan 75 degrees quad, as we always do, and pretty much as I always have to update, I have 5 uses on this quad. I was at 40 uses going into this update, so now I am at 45. I am a little, I don't want to say discouraged by my use on this year, but I definitely thought that I would be using this more than I have. You guys know I love the Rowan quads. I will say I have come to the realization that this is my least favorite of the quads that I own. I am planning to do the same thing next year where I have one of my Rowan quads in this project, but I'm going to focus on my Mood Forever quad, which I think will just be an easier palette for me to get use out of every single day. With this one, I feel like with these two shades, they're kind of similar, and they're just like, I don't know. I've been struggling to reach for this, but we can kind of go shade for shade. I still only have 2 pans. I thought maybe we would hit another pan this month, but we didn't. So up first, I have this shade right here. This is my most used shade in the palette, and I had 24 uses going into this update. I reached for this an additional 3 times, so we are at 27 uses right here. Then this shade right here, which seems to have, like, in my opinion, the most progress this year. I feel like that pan, I don't know, maybe has expanded the most. I had 24 uses going into this update. I did not reach for this shade at all, so I'm still at 24 uses here. This shade down in the corner was my most used shade this month. I reached for this shade 4 times. Still no pan, and I am at 21 total uses in this shade. And then this shade right here, which was my most used pan going into this project, I've reached for the least this year, and I only reached for this 1 time since the last update, so we're only at 8 uses. So that being said, my goal still before the end of the year is to hit pan on all of these shades. I think at that point in time, I will declutter this eyeshadow palette. This is getting very old in my collection, especially for it being 4 cream shades. I feel like the shades just don't perform like they once did, but I have to hit a pan in all of these pans in order for me to declutter it. So I feel like we're just 1 or 2 uses away from pan in this shade right here. And I feel like with just a little effort, we could hit pan in this shade. I will say it would be nice potentially to hit like 30 uses in these shades, which I already have over 20 uses on each. And then this shade down here, it'd be nice to at least hit 20 uses this year. I am at 45 uses, as I said, and we still have 2 months left in this project, so I should have no problem reaching for this 50 times. I don't know that we could get to 75 uses, but we're just gonna see. But at bare minimum, like, I would really want to have a pan in every single shade in this palette before the end of the year. And then it'll be fun to kind of see the difference next year. Like, will I actually do better next year, or do I just really struggle to reach for these when I'm trying to focus on them? We'll find out. But that is my update and progress on my Rowan 75 degrees quad. My ColourPop Super Shock shadow in the shade Ritz has also been in since the introduction, and I believe I only reached for this 1 time. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm definitely not going to finish this Super Shock off before the end of the year. I know how long it takes to actually complete a Super Shock. It takes years. You'd think it wouldn't, but it really does. So I will still keep this in. We'll see if I can get maybe 10 more uses on this before the end of the year, and perhaps this is something I would continue to work on next year to empty off, hopefully towards the beginning of the year, but I really do struggle to get myself to reach for this as well. So not great progress there. Another product I really feel like I should have thought through a little bit more before I rolled this in. I can't remember when exactly I rolled this in. I think around like spring, summertime. It is my NARS Laguna Sun Kiss Bronzing Cream. I think I included this in the like 24 products I want to pan in 2024. I am definitely not going to be successful in that. I have been struggling to get myself to reach for this one because it is a little bit more pigmented, so I feel like I have to be just a little bit more careful when reaching for this, and it's just not my first reach, at least at this point in time when I am definitely more like pale. It hasn't been my go-to reach, but you know, I'll keep it in until the end of the year. Hopefully we can get 5 more uses on this one. And then another product that I don't feel like I have great progress on, I kind of forgot about this one. This is my Fresh Sugar Lip Treatment. I think I rolled this in a couple of months ago, and this is how much product I have left. I really just need to bring this down to my car and have this as like my car chapstick, because I know I'll go through it really quickly if I have it in my car. This product, these like chapstick style lip treatments from Fresh actually do go really quickly if you focus on them. So honestly, if I really focused on this and had this in my car for the month of November, I feel like I could finish it up. The only problem I have with this is it's one of those like chapsticks that kind of gets outside your lip lines, and it literally makes me look like I have chapped lips. So I have to be really careful about when I do reach for this, and that's why I've struggled to consistently reach for this one. But I am still giving myself the goal to finish this one by the end of the year. I think it's possible, and so it would be nice to move out another lip product before the year ends. The last 6 products I have to update you on, I feel like we're doing pretty good. I don't think we're gonna finish all of these, but I'm excited by the progress. So first up, I have my Merit Blush Stick in Beverly Hills, which I'm very excited I ended up finding. This was missing for 2 months, but I had brought this with me to Chicago, and I must have just been trying to like unpack and clean really quickly, and my cosmetic bag, I shoved it under my bathroom sink, and this was still in it. So I did find this, and so I don't feel like I'm gonna have like the best progress on this, but I'm happy to have found this because I have been working on this quite a bit this year, and I really am excited to see, even if it doesn't happen this year, excited to see if there's more product in this packaging, or once you get flush with the packaging, like what does this look like when you empty it out. This is a really beautiful cream blush. It's just a really beautiful neutral kind of sheer flush of color. You can really sheer this out, and I really enjoy reaching for this, especially on days that maybe I'm just doing like brows and mascara but want to add like a little bit of color to the cheeks. This is perfect for that because it's not so pigmented and not so makeup-y, and I've just been loving this year. So I'm excited to keep working on this. I don't think I'll finish this before the end of the year, but this is something that I will roll into my project next year to continue to work on it, because I'm so curious to see what that looks like as an empty. All right, then I have this lip gloss, which is, I swear, the bane of my existence. It's the Becca Chrissy Teigen Glow Gloss, and if I'm like swirling the brush around in here, I feel like I have windowing like right about here, but the way that this lip gloss settles, it just settles really weird. So like product will like coat the sides of the walls, but like when you swish it around, it really windows down low. So I still think I can finish this before the end of the year. I will say it's a little bit more of a warm nude than I'm typically reaching for this time of year, but I need to just really focus on this, really make an effort, because I would love to move this gloss out before the end of the year. So I'm still feeling like I can achieve my goal with this one. Another product I think I can hit my goal on, but I just need to be wearing my tank tops and putting this on. This is my Nabla Angel Aura Radiant Plumping Primer. I do need to let this settle, but I think I will be able to make a new line marking probably like right about there once it like fully settles. I do reach for this when I'm wearing a tank top. I'll put it on my body kind of to give me like a bit of a luminous glow. It is a stickier, like more distracting thick product. I do not like this as a face primer, so that's why I'm kind of repurposing it as a body shimmer. But I just really want to move this out of my collection before the end of the year. I want this to be a primer empty that I can count this year and then not bring this with me into 2025. So I do still think this is a product we'll be successful on. So far out of the 10 that I still have going, I have 3 that I think can be empties before the end of the year. Another product I think will be an empty before the end of the year is my Fenty Beauty Stick Foundation. I want to be careful taking the lid off because I feel like my product flies out. Okay, this is it. I'm gonna be so careful. This is it all the way rolled up and like pushed out. I have been reaching for this pretty frequently within the last like week and a half to 2 weeks. It is not my favorite foundation for every day just because I feel like it's not long lasting enough for like a full work day. I still do wear it to work sometimes, but then by the end of the day I'm like, ugh, I don't really love the way that my skin is looking or my face is looking. But like for summer days, if I'm just gonna be out and about for, you know, 6 hours or so, I think this is such a beautiful one. I don't think I will repurchase this during the Sephora VIB sale, which actually starts today. I am planning to pick up probably the ABH stick foundation. I do like to have one stick foundation with me in case I'm like on an overnight or traveling. I like a stick foundation for traveling, but this isn't something that I'm so sold on that I like want to go repurchase it. I'd rather try something different and see if there's something else I like better out there, but I do have faith that I will finish this before the end of the year. Then I have my Rose Ink highlighter, and I'm really excited to see the progress pictures on this. This is in the shade Opalescent. And I definitely think that we are going to be seeing some pan expansion in this product. I have been reaching for this quite a bit lately, whether it be on top of foundation, underneath my foundation. I probably reach for this at least 3 times a week. I just love the glow that this gives to the skin. It has this really beautiful kind of pink pearlescent finish. Let me swatch it for you guys. And I will say, I have noticed in the past with Rose Ink products, like I feel like the product will dry out and then I have to use my finger to warm it up. But because I have been reaching for this consistently, this is a product I used to feel like I had to do that with. But now that I'm reaching for it, you know, every day or every other day, I don't feel like I'm having to do that, which makes me so happy. I don't necessarily think I will finish this before the end of the year, but I definitely believe that this could be an empty in like the first half of 2025, which does really motivate and excite me. It would be awesome to finish a cream highlighter. I can't remember if I showed the swatch or not, but there is a swatch. It just gives this really beautiful kind of lit from within glow, and the shade works really well for me. I am a little bit more cool toned and rosy toned, so the shade Opalescent I think is beautiful for me. I definitely think it's not going to work for everyone, but I've been enjoying that. Again, don't think it'll necessarily be an empty before the end of this year, but definitely into next year. And then the final product that I am working on is one that I rolled in last update, and I'm really excited about my progress on this. It is the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum, and when I rolled this in last update, I was right here, and now I will make a new line marking right up here. Now, the one thing I will say with this concealer is the pump. First of all, I was only ever using one pump. I would pump it onto my fingers, kind of touch my fingers together, and then just spread it underneath my eyes. But even one pump underneath both eyes, like one pump for both, so basically a half pump for each, is like too much. So I really try and only pump a half pump, but sometimes it's early in the morning and I'm really not thinking about it. So that is the one thing I will say about this concealer, and I don't know if this is like fast progress or not. I will also say there have been a ton of times this month that I have done my makeup twice in a day. I've done my makeup literally every single day this past month, plus some. In fact, I have 38 tracked days of doing my makeup, or 38 tracked times of doing my makeup, and I have been reaching for this all but I believe 2 times that I've reached for concealer. I will say this is absolutely going to be a repurchase for me. I think I like this one better even than my Tower 28 for a serum concealer, just because I feel like this one gives me a little bit more coverage. And I feel like this one doesn't, like, obviously every concealer is going to crease underneath your eyes, but I feel like this one just smooths a little bit more underneath my eyes than the Tower 28. That is not to say I don't like the Tower 28, but I think like once I finish this one and then once I finish the Tower 28, this is one I would repurchase. I was thinking that this was no longer available, but it definitely is. This also kind of reminds me of the Kosas concealer, and I feel like I haven't tested these side by side. I feel like I like this one even more than the Kosas concealer, and my Kosas concealer packaging always broke on me. So for a drugstore concealer, and not even for drugstore, like this beats some high-end concealers for me. This is going to be an absolute repurchase and staple in my collection. This ranks up there with my Charlotte Tilbury I Am Magic concealer. And I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury I reach for more when I want like a full coverage or like medium to full coverage look, whereas this works just perfect for me no matter the coverage I'm looking for. So I feel like those two would be really good concealers to both have in my collection, and I'm just so happy that I pulled this in, started to get use out of it, and I'm really liking the way that this one looks underneath my eyes. Even if I have the same amount of progress though, Like, it would be close. It would be really close, but I don't necessarily know that this one will be an empty before the end of the year. Only time will tell, potentially. So maybe we could still finish 5 out of the 10 products that I am working on in this project. We have 2 months left to go. I would love to know in the comments below what products you are really kind of like honing in on, focusing on to try and finish before the end of the year. Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel, as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.